What's going on, everybody? Happy Tuesday, or as I like to call it, New Comic Book Day Eve. And of course, Moon Knight Eve episode 4 is on the way. Stick around because Easter was on Sunday. I didn't have time to come back and do the show on Sunday, so I had to cancel it last minute. So I apologize, but family takes precedent over comics. I apologize. I know you guys are my comic fan, but my actual family needed me. So yeah, but happy Easter. I hope everyone had a good Easter, even though it's already Tuesday. So yeah, we're going to be talking Riri Williams. And then at the end, guys, we and ladies will be talking about the Moon Knight rating, and we're going to prepare ourselves for tomorrow's episode, which people are already saying is supposed to be the best fighting scene sequence, whatever's going on that show. So I'm excited for it. Yes, Newbie is excited for Moon Knight, even though yesterday I said, man, fuck Moon Knight on the Comic Kingpins, but that's a story for another time. All right, we're joined by my friend out west here in Canada. You guys know him as Rocksteady. He just had his first Whatnot sale last week. He's going to have his next show this Thursday, so make sure you guys go check it out. It's going to be 10:35 Eastern time, but he'll talk about that at the end. So, guys, let's bring him out. Rocksteady's joining us tonight. We're talking Riri. We're talking Moon Knight. Rocksteady, what's happening?
What's going on, Newbieverse? How's it going?
Dude, are you ready, man? I think I should have just did a whole episode of Moon Knight review, because I feel like people.
I think that's coming.
There was a few people messaging me like, "Dude, you didn't put your rating up for the Moon Knight," and I was like, "Yeah, I did. I thought I did." So, yeah, we're gonna be talking about Moon Knight. We're gonna be talking about Riri. Obviously, everybody is, of course, talking about one character and one character only, Miss Jane Foster. What are your thoughts, man?
I saw that trailer and I got excited. I'm not gonna lie. Thor has grown on me so much. Like, he's a lot lighter now ever since the whole Guardians transition. And it was a tease. Like, it gave us everything we kind of knew, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So it was nice that it wasn't ruined, and yeah, got me excited.
You know, I made a little bit of noise yesterday because I had said that I think Zeus is going to be the villain. I think obviously Gore, the God Butcher, is going to be the villain as well, but I had said that I think Zeus is going to be partly a villain, and it's just going to get and have that Ego the Living Planet vibe. I also think Hercules is going to be there. There is that, that scene at the end of the trailer just before the Jane Foster where it's like Thor and Krug or whatever, they're looking up. And on the left, there's a lot of space there. So that leads me to think that they, digitally erased or something. Some people are saying it's Jane Foster. I think it's going to either be, obviously Hercules. I've heard people be like, oh, it's Beta Ray Bill. I'm like, I don't think so, but we'll see. I think it's going to be good. Listen, I gave that trailer a shitty review. Not review, because I don't do those reviews. I don't do the reaction. And then I take a picture with me being like, right? Yeah. No hate on anybody who does that in the chat. It's just, that's not me. If you go look at any reaction videos, it's always like, oh my God. Right? I gave the trailer like a 5-6. But again, hear me out before people put me on a cross. The trailer shouldn't be like this amazing thing. I think the movie is going to be really well. I think the movie is going to be dope. I think it's going to be funny. I think what we saw most of the trailer, though, with like the Guardian stuff, I think that's going to be early on, because I don't think the Guardians are going to be around as much for this movie as people might think.
I think it's going to be heavier because there's the whole battle with cancer as well, isn't there, with Jane Foster? Is that happening in the movie?
Yeah, I don't know. Not sure.
Yeah, so Zeus was there, but Gore, the God Butcher, comes, and he's got to butcher a god. The only other god we saw was Zeus. So how long is Zeus going to be in the movie? And if they're going to give us a character in a trailer like that, they might wipe him out right away because he's so insignificant. I don't know.
Yeah, I know.
It's all talk. We don't know. It's all guessing.
Yeah. I don't know. I just remember when Russell Crowe was announced as as Zeus, and people just went crazy. I don't think I think it's one and done, but that's just me. But yeah, we'll we can discuss this a little bit later with the Moon Knight stuff at the end of the show. But we're here to talk about Rocksteady's favorite character, Riri Williams.
I like Riri. I just don't know a lot about Riri. So this is great because this is an education for me, and hopefully I can ask a lot of the questions that maybe the chat is wondering as well, right?
Absolutely, absolutely. Now, some of these books, a lot of people are going to be like, noob, really? Like, these are on there? Like, why? One, it's simply because people forget, right? When a character is not in your face, they forget. Two, even though the director and the producer have been, named for the project of Ironheart, we already know that she's going to be confirmed to be in November 11th's Black Panther 2 movie, right? So you don't really have that much time. And I don't want to rush spring or summer because I love it because I get to wear my flip-flops. But let's do the math, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, we're mid to late April already. So we got May, June, July, August, September, October, November, 7 months till the movie. We're probably about 3 months away from possibly a trailer where they probably show Riri. What does that mean? Well, let's look at Jane Foster. Jane Foster books were super cheap. For like ever, even though we knew she was coming, even though everybody knew she was coming. She held the hammer at the, San Diego Comic-Con a few years ago. They said she was coming, and yet people were like, nah, I'm going to sell it. I don't believe in it. And then guess what happened? Everybody overpaid. Books that were 100 went to like 4, 5, 6, and so on. So even though you might think, you know what, Riri's garbage, guess what? All the characters always get a spike, and this is a good time to maybe just get a refresher. Because some people, the John Cena, if it's not in my face, it's not going to be, a worry to me. So
this is buy low time for sure.
Yeah, and it's 7 months away. So you give or take, it's going to probably be about 3 months. I'm going to call it right now. I'm expecting July 4th weekend to be the trailer release for Black Panther. Yeah, I'm calling it right now. So there you go. If anybody wants to put an over-under on it, go right ahead. But I do believe that that's when they're going to do it. So
I also think people are going to be very distracted by Miss Marvel and Thor, right? So when everybody's looking one way, the buy low opportunity is going to be the other way. And that's where Black Panther comes in. So we have Namor is confirmed as well, correct?
Supposedly, yeah. Supposedly.
Yeah. So it's kind of like, if it's in the wind right now, it might be a good opportunity, right?
The other thing too is I think a lot of people are just going to be overly with Doctor Strange and Miss Marvel and the finishing of Moon Knight and Thor. Like there's a lot there, so I'm just like, okay, you know what, Riri stuff. But again, Riri stuff is super cheap, and Rocksteady. Like I've had this conversation with you. I've had this conversation with a lot of people. At the beginning when they announced Ironheart, prices soared, just like anything, right? Prices soared, and they got to a certain point, and then they've dropped. I'm a big believer, and if you look back at some of the books and you look back at a lot of things, once a book gets to a certain point, nothing is there saying that it can't get back to that point or even past that point when the character is present in our face, right? So that's what I'm hoping. There's a lot of ratios. There's a lot of variants for Riri with the 1 in 25s that literally were hitting $1,800 Canadian. And I apologize if you want to hear it in US. I only got Canadian prices, but there was a lot of these books that literally hit like 1,500 Canadian. And now they're literally at that 800, 900 mark, which is almost 50% down. So nothing stopping those books from climbing again.
So what happens with almost every MCU major character is you get rumors / announcement, and then you get the trailer, and you get that second spike, and then leading up to their debut or whatever it is, you get that other spike. So in those valleys is where you want to sell, and at those peaks, in those valleys is when you want to buy, and at those peaks is when you want to sell.
Yeah.
And we're at a valley for Riri, for sure.
It's crazy because it's like we're stock people for paper.
Yeah.
So sometimes I'll go and watch reruns of like The Office because it's one of my favorite shows, and I literally think, hey, that's what I'm doing. I'm selling paper. I'm buying paper and I'm selling paper. That's literally what we're doing.
Newbie
In a good way. Like, I don't want to offend somebody who's like, did you just say paper?
This is
I
art.
love these books. Like, I totally get it. I'm just saying, just a reference, but yeah.
But we're just as in love with the market as we are the books.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
You got to be in love with the whole thing. I think so. And that's, I know for me, that's where I'm at. A reader, art, spec, investing, buying, like the whole thing. Step
You can
one.
be everything. You don't have to choose just one. As long as you do it with integrity, you can be a flipper, you can be a speculator, you can read, you can collect covers. Just do what you love.
Yeah. Power of the people. All right, let's say hello to the chat before we get the show rolling. And then again, guys, ladies, we will be talking Riri books. And then at the end, I will be giving my Moon Knight rating and getting ready for episode 4 of Moon Knight. So let's get it going. So newbie, it's like you work for Thunderman. Exactly. That's exactly how I think about it. I don't know what character I'd be. I'd say I'm like a Jim, but that's just me being, me. All right.
You're a warehouse guy in the background.
Dan Delatorre, sir, what is going on? Gold for the U.S. The Ancient One takes on Lady Fantastic this Friday on the Tony Sanders show for the TV title. Make sure you guys go check that show out. Tony Sanders is a gem, and he's got a great show lined up there, especially if you like wrestling and comics. It's a mixture of both. Go check it out. Mr. Black Crown Comics, silver for Canada, the place where it's still snowing, and newbie is proudly wearing his size 7.5 flip-flops. My flip-flops are size 11, bro. Get out of here.
Yeah, but his feet are 7'5".
Bleeker's taking home the bronze. Michael Baker with the copper. Mr. Bernard, hey fam, we live tonight, or are we going to get left? Hey, no, dude, we're here. Sunday, just family time. It was Easter. I couldn't get home, so I had to cancel last minute. I apologize. TKO Collectibles, what's going on? Wesley Comics, one half of the Future Specs. Mr. Jess Cruz, I think I'm going to go cruising on Sunday with him. So what is going on, sir? Tim made his debut yesterday on Comic Kingpins, and it lasted this long. Yeah. But shout outs to him. Justin, so excited to hear about Star Wars books.
You have no idea.
If I had a quarter for every time I heard that. Uncanny Swag, what's going on? Bleeker Street again. Uncanny. Ironheart is a real character. Yeah, of course she is. Scott 5, what's going on? I won't mention Jerry. Oh, Scott, I gotta give you some shout outs, man. Honestly, when I get off the shows and even during shows, man, you make me laugh. On the Whatnot stuff, you are freaking hilarious, because even the other day, I forgot to put something about one of the books I put, and Scott goes, yo, that's also the cameo of, and then in the next thing he put Jared Leto, but I was literally like, yeah, that's the cameo of man, shut. But like,
Newbie was anchor manning the chat. Just read anything.
Boston Milkshakes, what's going on, man? How are you? Rush Diehard, hi everyone from the Big Smoke. Hernani, you're next. Yep, Avengers 10. RP's in the house. What's going on? My brother, what is going on? Mr. J2, what's happening? See, I messed up my signs. I went to go like this, but I always do this. I just did one of those. I don't know what that is.
A new one.
Ultra, what's going on, sir? How are you, brother? Nice to see you in here. Nelvis, hi everyone. I'm new to the newbieverse. Well, get your Coronas cold, popcorn warm, and get ready for a good show, man. Appreciate you hanging out. Dan Delatorre, Vancouver and I, referencing Chris, I warned you guys a year ago to get Journey into the Mystery Annual 1 First Hercules. Yep, absolutely. A lot of people were on that one, man. Lots of people. That's still a good book. That's a book I expect to see spike and hit a few top 10 lists in the next week or two for sure. Let's see here. Riri is on the dip right now. Last chance to stock up. Last chance. Yeah, this is true.
This is it.
What's going on, Chris? All right, Comic Chic. Pacino's in the house. So newbie. It's like, yeah. Dab. There is a spec that you are the superior Iron Man in Doctor Strange. It could be, man. I mean, I'd probably give out the leak though. I'd be like, guys, I'm in Doctor Strange. So,
tune in. Yeah,
I'd be too late. I'd be fired and sued, and they'd CGC my face and stuff like that. But what's going on, Dab, man? Appreciate you hanging out. Ironheart comics to invest in. Is this some kind of trick? No. I did play a magician in drama class in grade 10 though. Yeah. But I didn't
No
really do
magic, just
tricks.
played a magician.
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't do any tricks. But hey, it is what it is. All right. Let's get to it. Let's start the show. And guys, before we start the show, we don't really talk about applications on this show, but there is one application that we do need to talk about. That's the Back in Time application. You can download it very easily on your phone. Channel sponsor. You got your advanced pre-orders, weekly FOC, CGC signing. This guy is a CGC dealer. So if you're in the area, you can send it off. Fast tracks available. Everything's available. You got recent releases, 25% off recent releases. He also does Tuesday sales on his Facebook and on Saturday. And if you're a flaker, well, they do flaker sales once a month, but easily look at that. Very simple to use. Go download the Back in Time Comics app and check them out on Facebook and Instagram. Go Barca, even though they suck right now. All right, well, let's get into the show. Kenneth is in the house. Newbie, you are the De Niro of your generation. Okay. I mean, I think that's a good compliment. All right, let's get it going. We are going to start with Miss Riri Williams. And it's so funny because anytime you see you put Riri, it always goes to like Rihanna on like Google or on anything. So yuck, Barca, dude. Listen, we just lost to Cardiff. So or Ketsy. So just relax. Nowhere bound. What's going on? Agree. But yo, guys, come on. This isn't a soccer show, all right? All right. Let's get into it. First book we're going to be talking about is Champion 16. This was a dollar bin book for a very long time. It did see a spike. When did it see a spike? October, November. A lot of people were picking it up. I saw people selling it for about $20. At a show, one guy had this copy for $40, said it was near mint. However, it was not near mint, but still the fact that the price went that high. Now, again, anything Riri, anything associated with her is probably going to jump, especially when Champions, Young Avengers, all that. I think the chase for what team is going to show up, right? So everybody's thinking that is going to be Young Avengers. Then you got these people over here saying, Champions, and there's these people up here saying, no, it's new Agents of Atlas and all these different teams. Who knows? But all I know is that this book is cheap. You can still get it at one point. Again, it rose to 20, 30, $40. Two important things here. Well, we got Riri joins the Champions. You got Locust joins the Champions. I think Torres joins the Champions as well. No current CGC prices, but guess what? Champions is something that everybody is talking about and everybody wants to happen. So why not get something associated with it? We've seen in the past, and by the past, I mean, let's look at the last, 2 years to 18 months. A lot of these meetups, a lot of these people joining teams have spiked. So not a bad book to have. Easy one that I think a lot of people have picked up because, again, this book is still in dollar bins for the most part. So why not get yourself, a few copies and see where it goes? Rocksteady, what do you think, man?
I think a lot of people move through the champion section pretty quick. They look for number one. Okay, no number one. And then they breeze right through it. So
yeah,
if you do your homework on this run and the champions do hit.
Yeah.
So why not for $1, $2, you can find them. Why not grab it? I think it's low risk, high reward. And as far as CGC goes, so if there's none out there and it hits and you're the first one out there with it, you're going to get the premium dollar, right?
Exactly.
So you invest a few bucks, even if you get it for $5, you spend the $50 on grading and you can double your money possibly if it hits. Like, not bad.
Yeah. And that's something that I've actually been noticing, with a lot of newer characters or just books, right? Like if there isn't many CGC ones, usually even if you have one, it's just kind of like, oh, I'm going to grab it. Like there's a lot of people that would just jump on even if it's a 9.2, even if it's a 9.4. Like I've seen it day in, day out. I've seen people buy them. And I'm always looking at myself. I'm like, when things do hit, I'm always like, oh man, I was looking at that book. And then you go to like your eBay sold and it's like 9.4 sold for like $40. But then at the heat of it, it's like 9.4 sold for like 180, 200, right? So there is some investment there. There is still meat on the bones for some of these books. So that's the important thing. Boston Milkshakes is saying, I sold 5 copies of #1 for $3 each. Oh my God. Dude, I found 5 copies at a warehouse for $1. And actually, I'm pissed because I found them all in the same spot, pressed them. I only graded one, and then I sold the rest raw. But the one that came back was a 9.8. So now I'm thinking, like, shoot, I could have had 5 9.8s. So
It's a good book.
I feel you. I feel you on that one. All right. Let's go on to another book. And this one is, being an Iron Man guy and the importance of the armors. Well, we got Champions 22. So first of Riri's new armor. So if you follow Riri, she is kind of in that Iron Man looking, more Iron Man looking than this suit. But this suit is the one that she takes, precedence in this Riri Ironheart suit. Variant edition out there as well. So don't be fooled. Raw copies currently selling anywhere between $20 and $50. 9.6 sold for $70 Canadian. Now that is shipped. That is everything in. While a 9.4 sold for $50 Canadian. Again, shipped all together. That's not bad, man. Because if you think about it, a 9.4, you basically got the book for free, and you've just paid for, the grading. That's pretty much it. So this isn't a bad one. This one really spiked. This one was on a few top 10 lists. September, August, I believe, maybe around Christmas time, somewhere around there. My mind's a little blurry on when the stuff spiked, but I think it was around, what was it? Around September to December, somewhere around there, right? Because we had that Disney thing happen in November. So I think it was like roughly around there.
I think this book, is pretty sneaky. Again, people just breeze through that champion section. But as far as Riri goes, this is the Riri I know. And I think this is the Riri everybody knows. And I think this is the Riri we'll see. You know what I mean? Even if we see the other Riri, it's only going to be brief. Right? So I do think this is a good book. Not a lot of people are buying Champions either, especially this late in the run. I haven't seen them out there. And if you can get one graded already, I don't think this would be the easiest cover to get in a 9.8 or a high grade.
Yeah. And don't forget too, I know this is a Riri show and we're talking Champions, but 21, first appearance of Snow Guard, like, there is some value in the later runs. There's a lot of variants and things like that as well with the Champions. So, just be on the lookout. Don't sleep on the Champion stuff.
I just got one of those 21s.
Did I sell you one? I can't
remember. Yeah, I bought it from you on Whatnot.
Oh yeah, okay. I was gonna say, I'm like, I sold one. I know that. Yeah, I really like this cover, man. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to find it anywhere around me, but I do know people close to me that have found it in shops that I've been to. So it was just a matter of, they got to it first. So I'm actively looking for this one. I would like to put it with all my Riri stuff, 100%. All right. One of my favorite books. Why? Well, it's because it was a book that I talked about and then people took it from me. But this was a book that I actually talked about in my spec early on. Ironheart 12. It is the final issue. Not many out there and not many people kept it. So what ended up happening was, well, it just went up in value. So raw copies were selling anywhere between $20 and $50. I know because I actually sold one and I feel shitty because my mindset was, oh, I'm going to go get one. Like I'm going to get another one. And that has not happened. I have not come across another one. But that's what happens when people talk about spec, right? Like people will just kind of hold it. I would advise anybody who has this to hold it. It's a really good book to have. It's the final issue. Not really anything crazy important or a first appearance, but those final issues are really hard. A lot of people want them. A 12, issue miniseries, so it's not bad. Sweet cover too. She's there in the iron, in the suit and everything. So it is a cool cover as well. Mainly, this is important just simply because, like I said, final issue, not many out there. I would hold it. Just wait, because if you can get 20, 40, 50 bucks now, just wait till she shows up because people are going to ask for more. So I would definitely hold it. Rocksteady, did you know about this one? Do you know this one? Do you like this one? What are your thoughts?
I didn't know specifically about this one. It's a great cover, so it has that going for it. But I am on the trend if there's a mini series or a short series and it's a later issue than I've seen, I'm gonna kind of give it a quick look on eBay or something like that, or do my research on it, right? Because you look at ones that have popped off, like Swordmaster, the final issue,
Yeah.
and now like final issues are kind of becoming a thing. So Ironheart's a pretty big character. It could be a pretty big character for years. So this could pop off, like even the old series, like Moon Knight. The last issue is the hardest one to find of the whole series.
Yeah.
So yeah, definitely a hold. It's not even a book I think is going to spike with the movies and the releases. I think this is a book that's going to grow over time because people are going to get number one. They're going to find 5, 7, 8. Then they're going to try to do the set, and they're not going to be able to find this one.
The keys in it are, I mean, if you count them as keys, it's 7, 9. Like in the Ironheart, it's 7, 9, 10, and then 12, right? Because you got Eclipse, then you got the 10 rings, then you got her father. So yeah. Just quickly, Fizbin, we actually already talked about it, but she's confirmed to already be in Black Panther 2, which is coming out November 11th. The director and producer have already been named. Dominique Thorne is actually the actress. All of that is confirmed. Is literally coming out November 11th. And it's going to be in Black Panther. And then she's going to have her own show next year in 2023. Boom, boom, boom. And it's not rumored. It's confirmed because we already talked about it. We already did that on the thing. Yeah. So we're good to go on Riri. All right. Next book. This book should look very familiar to Rocksteady. And it actually is familiar to me because I have like 3 copies and I have a 9.8. Rocksteady, Vancouver Comic Junkie, they're big on this one. But first appearance of Rescue, and I know people are gonna be like, well, it's 11. No, it's actually 10. When you get to 11, it's kind of like first full, and you get into that. But I would argue, maybe open the book.
And
but
12 is cover, right?
Cover? 12 is cover. Okay. Now there is a secret variant for this one as well. Fizbin, if you're confused, just Google it, man. All the information's there. But yeah, there's a secret variant for this one as well. The secret variant is actually, I prefer it because it's actually him with the Iron Man mask, right? Yeah. Here's the thing. She's going to need a mentor. So it's either going to be Pepper Potts. It's either going to be Rhodey. Like it's going to be one of those two, right? Like that, if I was a betting man, those would be the 2 people that I would bet on to be her mentor, because it's not like she's just going to come into this school, build her suit, and then be like, okay, I got everything. I know how to do, you know what I mean? Like, I just don't see that happening, right? So she's going to need somebody there to kind of help her, which
they're going to have the AI, but they're going to need that connection.
I think that's going to come out a little bit later though. I really do. Like, I think that's going to be a big, important part, but I think to start it off, especially in her show, because I don't think like Pepper or Rhodey is going to be in Black Panther 2. But I do think that in the show, they'll probably touch on it. Maybe Rhodey will be like a teacher or something, but I do think that that's going to be a big part. But this one is very, very slept on. 9.8 sell for 140 to 150 Canadian. Very cheap.
What was the ratio for the secret to the regular? Was it 1 to 5? I think it was something like that. Maybe the chat can help us out.
Is it 1 to 5?
So, okay, this is kind of nerdy, but I play one of the Marvel video games, on the phone one, Marvel Strike Force. And they kind of made a big deal out of Rescue when she was there. And I find they often use platforms like that to try to gauge interest in characters. And there was quite a bit. So I think Rescue, at the price you can get it at, isn't a bad choice. Like, this is a pretty good book.
Yeah. Huh. I like this one. Like I said, if you want to pay a few bucks extra, get the secret variant. If you're buying them raw, from this one to that one, so like just roughly, this one would cost about $25 to $30 Canadian. The secret variant would probably reach you about maybe 40, 50. So maybe like $10, $15 more, but I think it's worth it, especially if you're investing in it. It's a 1 in 10.
Oh, okay, cool.
1 to 10. So yeah, so that's good to know. I just sold both of these raws last night, actually. So it's happening. I'm keeping my 9.8s, but I'm selling the raw for sure. Infamous Iron Man #1 has the AI. Yep, that is true. Speaking of, well, we got Infamous Iron Man #1 right here. Wow, that's crazy. Noob. It's like you know, I'm a time traveler, so just keep that in mind. So yeah, first appearance of AI Tony Stark, first appearance of Doom as Iron Man. This is a tough 9.8 to get. I have one, but it is tough, man. It is very tough. Currently 9.8s are selling anywhere between 180 to 200 Canadian, and raw copies anywhere between $10 and $30. Now, going back to that mentor part, I really do think that this is going to happen. I spec'd on this. A lot of people have been on this book forever, for many years. I was picking this book up when it was like $2 to $5. Some people were picking it up at $20, but nevertheless, if you got it, it's a good book to have, good book to keep. Definitely, this is going to happen. I definitely see this happening. She is going to need that mentor that's going to come, but she's going to need a mentor to kind of get her through the school. And then finally she'll get to Infamous Iron Man and the AI stuff. But she's definitely going to need characters like a Pepper Potts or a Rhodey to kind of help her find her way, maybe fight a battle or two. So not a bad pick. This is definitely one to be on the lookout for. Still, a lot of people are just giving these away right now too. So hold it. I'm fighting myself to like get this money or just hold it, but I know that the smart play is to hold it.
I'm very medium on this book. Okay.
What? Oh my god.
So here's the deal with this one. So it's a great story, and I do think it will spike when we get the AI Tony Stark. So Riri Williams is confirmed for Black Panther, but I don't know if Ironheart is.
That's true. That's true.
Right? So I don't know if we're going to get Ironheart right away. It might just be a Riri cameo. So this one may not be as quick as we think.
I don't think it's going to be quick, no.
And I don't think it'll have a long-term hold. I do think it'll spike when it happens or when we hear of it. I have a 1 in 10 of this. So it's kind of like, yeah, okay, like I know it'll spike, but it's going to be gone once it does. So is it a good short-term hold? I think so. Long-term, I'm medium on. I'm not
medium.
sure.
The 1 in 10 is the Iron Man holding the helmet, right? The white,
the design variant,
yeah,
the kind of looking one.
Yeah. I've been on this book for a while. I think it's good, but like you said, this is a perfect book that you want to already have slabbed. You really want to have it ready to go, and then when it comes, there's a bit money to have. Drac, forget the spec. I want the cover. I want the book for the cover. Hit me up, man. I got a second one. I can sell you.
And the A is the best cover of that too.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. All right. Invincible Iron Man #1. Now, anytime I go to a show, anytime I try to pick this book up, people are like, yeah, it's her first appearance. Wrong. This is not her first appearance. This is first cover appearance of Riri Williams with that armor. This is a different armor than the actual Ironheart armor. At the height, when the show was released, this book fetched in 9.8, $500 Canadian. Currently, 120 to 180. It will rise again. It's a famous Star Trek line. It's actually a joke because, it's probably a Star Wars one, but I just went that one. This one is super undervalued for investment purpose.
It's neither.
No, shit. I just thought, you know what? I'm gonna put that. Somebody's probably a Star Trek fan being like, hey, yeah, that's from our show. Yeah. So yeah, undervalued for investment purpose, 100%. Just simply because it is the first cover, obviously, in that armor. But what are your thoughts, man? I think this one's really slept on. I think you can pick them up. I've got 3 copies in 9.8, and it's not bragging. It's just I was picking them up really cheap. They've literally gone down so much that it's not that bad of an investment. And again, when she comes up, you'll probably make your money and a little bit more. So it's not a bad book to be, at least get 1 copy. It's not bad.
Again, I think it's in that filler zone of getting the armor and then not do you know what I mean? Not permanent armor as well. But isn't there a first appearance in here though of some? Because I read this and there's the bad guy or whatever his name. Do you know his
Andre
name?
Sims?
Yeah. So
that's another book, but we'll talk about that.
Okay.
Yeah.
I haven't seen these
I think
books,
you got the books mixed up. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I like this one. I think this one has a little bit longer hold than the previous one because it's so early with Riri. It says Ironheart on the cover. Yeah, I'm good with this one. I wouldn't chase it and pay huge money when it spikes because I do think it's going to have those peaks and valleys. But yeah, I'm good with this book. I don't have one.
1 for 6. Jesus. You could play for the Mets. Second print of this issue can be found and it's pretty pricey as fuck. Yeah.
I
So
love second.
the second print, yeah, I was gonna say you're the king of second prints, third prints, but the second print actually has the name Invincible Iron Man, I think in blue, if I'm not mistaken. It's in blue, but I've never seen one.
Blue.
Yeah, I've never seen one in the wild. Never in my life. Only on walls or on eBay. So now that I found it, yeah. Oh shoot. Okay, Tim, congratulations, man. That's dope. Can't be too many of those out there. Like, can't be. I haven't seen many. All right. Well, let's stick with the same book. Invincible Iron Man 1, the 1 in 25 decal. Now, Swag is big shout out to Swaggle House, but Swaggle House will do this and he knows exactly. He's like, yeah, that book, boom. And he's pointing. I'm not that good, but I got mine right there. Right there. The 1 in 25. Really cheap book. I jumped on it when it was literally nothing, sent it off to CGC, and people were like, why do you want to do that? Not knowing that it was a 1 in 25. And then it jumped at the height of the show. At the height of the show being announced, $1,600. $1,600. So it's a little crazy. Currently, it's at half that. So it's at $800. And yes, I want to show off my math skills there. But this one will rise again. It's famous Star Trek line. This will rise again. Undervalued for investment purposes. Again, I really do think that this one is one that if you can find it for a good deal, grab it. Most places right now have it at 700 US. I know my comic shop has a 9.8 for this at 689 or 699, something like that US. So for Canada, it kind of translates to the same thing. But definitely, if this book reached $1,600 before, I mean, who's to say it doesn't get to that 4-digit mark, when she does come. And again, it is a sweet decal cover. It's awesome. People are making a big deal about, how she looks, the hair, the AI, Tony Stark there. I think there's a lot there. So I can definitely see this one going up again for sure.
DeCal is certainly making a name for himself and is getting himself in the mix with a lot bigger names recently. Mm-hmm. So I think you're speccing on an artist here. I think it's a great cover. I think a lot of people would have ordered Invincible Iron Man. So 1 in 25s may not be as scarce as some other 1 in 25s, but you've seen what those iconic Miles books can go for.
Yeah.
If she can capture a generation, this is one of the books. Do you know what I mean? So I think it's a pricey book, but I don't think it's going to go lower ever. So if you want the book, go now. I don't think it'll have the same peaks and valleys, but I think it'll be steady growth on this one.
Yeah. I like my chances with this one. I'm hoping for a nice, flip myself for this one. This was a book I found, graded, came back in 9.8. So it was just, that whole process. So I like it. So, I want it to go somewhere else. I wouldn't mind, getting a nice payday for it. But yeah, definitely a good book regardless. And a book that I think will definitely spike closer that we get for sure. All right. Well, let's stick with 1 in 25s. Let's go to this is my favorite. And again, if Swag was here, he'd be boom. So mine is, oh geez. Mine's right there. Right there. Boom. I was actually very fortunate that somebody heard me on Mel V Drunken Chat. Shout out to Drunken Chat. Me looking for this book. And somebody messaged me on Instagram like 2 years ago and was like, hey man, I got one for sale. Let's work out a deal. I got to work out a deal. Pressed it, cleaned it. It came back in 9.8. Love it. I think my total investment was like $130 Canadian. So it's not that bad. First time that she's named Ironheart is in issue 3. Now, again, this is the 1 in 25. So, relax. I know some people are like, that doesn't mean anything. Bullshit. It does. AI Tony Stark gives her the name Ironheart, and that's again another piece to the puzzle of they clearly got to go that route, don't they, with the comic route? My spec, take it or leave it. It is what it is. Mel V was on this too. Character name is huge, in my opinion. At the height when this show was announced too, this one also reached $1,600 to $1,800. There was one sale of $1,750 Canadian, and that was insane. I thought about selling mine, and I was like, no, I'm gonna hold it. But this is arguably my favorite Riri cover. Like, hands down, this is my favorite. Currently, it's about $800 to $950, and will easily double when she returns and when she's actually in our face. Have you ever seen this one in the wild?
Never in the wild, no.
Never on a wall? Have you ever seen it on a wall or anything?
Like at shows, like big,
Oh, okay.
big sticker, right? Kind of thing, but never like at a shop, ungraded, anything like that. So in some other scenarios, a name may not be as big. But I think because her first appearance is kind of sloppy, and like people will want first Ironheart, people won't want first Riri Williams as much, if that makes sense. I do think this is the book. For every character has a book when everything blows up. In my opinion, this is the one. Yeah, I like it quite a bit. It's expensive to buy in, don't get me wrong. But again, steady growth. I think this is the investor one.
Yeah, I think so too. I think this is the one, like you
also,
said.
people buy the crap out of number one, right? And
Yeah.
then number two comes and they sit on shelves. And then the shops are like, well, yeah, we sold a bunch of number one, but nobody bought number two. So number three, we're only going to order 5 of. So not a lot of people are getting 1 in 25 in number 3, even though it's an invincible run. I think this is the book.
And even that cover A for issue 3, it still fetches about $40 Canadian. So
I can't find it.
That's raw. Oh my God. I was finding those like crazy, like a
late.
year and a half ago. Oh my God. They were like everywhere. And
I was late to the party.
Yeah. But this one, if you guys ever see it, find it. I think this one's going to have a great potential. Not because I have one, I'm going to say this, but I do think that this will probably be maybe one of the books that fetches, $2,000 closer than some of the other ones for sure. Outside of, issue 7 and 9 and the variant for number 9, but I really do. Also, I got to stop the show because we got some guests in here. Mr. Roger Levesque from 3 Men in the Basement's in the house. What's going on, man? How you doing? If you're an Ohio State fan, please do not talk to Roger. He's a big Michigan fan, so stay away. But what's going on, Raj? How you doing, man? Thanks for stopping by. Mr. Andre's in the house. What's going on? Comic Dude is in the house. 1/5 of the Comic Kingpins is here, so big shout outs to him. AOA is joining the show. So what is happening, guys? All right, let's get into the next book. And the next book is Ironheart number 1, cover A, and the 1 in 10. All right, this is where that Andre Sims was also a part of. It's this one. It's not Invincible Iron Man 1. Okay, and Andre Sims could be the villain. Very undervalued. And it's also a lot of people, like you said, Rocksteady, if you're not reading the book, if you're not physically opening it, reading it, and understanding what's going on, you wouldn't know that Andre Sims is in it, because there's a lot of places where people get their information that the information doesn't have that, right? So this one would be a really good one to be on the lookout for. I love the 1 in 10. I wouldn't be opposed to getting it. I think if the last time I checked, the 9.8 was like about $300 to $400 Canadian. So it's already up there, and rightfully so. Cover A, though, you can get in a 9.8 for $250 Canadian. It's not bad.
I think the difference, though, like $250 to the 1 in 10, like if you had the money, I think the 1 in 10 might be the better bet then. Because there's going to be a lot of cover A's out there. I think they're both great books. Have you seen what's happening with the Scotty Young cover to this?
No.
I've seen them I used to see them everywhere for $10. You know how like one cover of a book is always kind of left behind and nobody wants that one? Now it's like $40-$50 Canadian. I'm watching it. It's kind of blowing my mind. Yeah, raw. Yeah. So
wow.
But Ironheart, people love the first solo series. I don't think you can go wrong with that. They have long-term plans. This is the Ironheart we know. It's buy it now.
Especially when how we do it here, right? In the newbieverse where we talk about that ladder effect, right? 7 and 9, it's dicey on our first appearance because you have people on both sides, right? That's just what it is, right? I hope this is not news to anybody. This is just the argument that's going around in the comic world. Some people say 9, some people say it's 7, some people read their books, some people don't. It is what it is. But when you do that and you look at the prices of those books, some people go, fuck, I can't afford that. So what am I going to do? Well, we do the, ladder effect. So we go for solo, or we go issue 3 or issue 1 in the Invincible run, right? Like things like that. So I think solos are very slept on. I used to just, disregard them for the longest time. And then I actually started jumping on a lot of the characters for that reason. There are investment, gateways for it for sure. This one I would suggest, if you have the funds and you want to, kind of roll the dice, I think this one would be the perfect fit.
And it's not like it was a character that was around for a long time and then got their first solo series finally. Like they haven't been around like Rogue for 20, 30 years and then gets their first solo series in the 90s, right? Like this character wasn't around for long. This character didn't have a following. So it was like only kind of people that were interested in a new female Ironheart, right? So yeah, it's not going to be as produced as some of those other number ones.
I really like this book. I'm actively looking for this on eBay. There is I believe a Ramos variant as well. The one where
Don't
she's
sleep on Ramos.
No, she's doing like the peace sign. She's taking like a selfie, and there's like jets in the background. It's blue cover. Don't sleep on that one for sure. That's a really good one as well. A lot of people like that one over the cover A because, like, as you can see in the comments, people are making fun of her legs. People are making fun of the cover, her neck. There's a lot of things that look off on this cover, and I'll agree.
She does kind of look like a tortoise without a shell.
Right. I've never liked it. I've never liked the book, like the cover. But I've loved the Ramos one. Me and Cruz actually were planning on buying one when we saw it at the show in November, like the show that you went to in March. The book was there in November, so we were looking at it. I think they were asking like $50, but it was pretty minty. So I kind of regret it now, but it is what it is. Stephanie Hans too. Yep.
Yeah.
Love the Ramos cover. All right. That was our Riri Williams. Quick spec.
Let me get my popcorn.
All right. Now, I hope you guys enjoyed that. Now the show's not done yet. Don't worry. It's only been 48 minutes. But that was a segment with Riri stuff that, we kind of wanted to cover. Swag. I was just talking about you. I had to do the points and I couldn't do it. Ask anyone in the chat. I named you. I said, you're good at that stuff. But yeah, guys, now it's time. Now, again, because Sunday I had to cancel because it was Easter and I had family stuff and I couldn't make the show, which I've apologized 50 times for. So I do apologize that I didn't make it. It's fun hanging out with you guys. So, I hope you guys didn't get mad, but it was Easter. But I think this is what everybody was waiting for. So I'm okay with it. I don't live in a glass house. So if you got rocks, go ahead and throw them. But I think we got to talk about this. I think we got to talk about Moon Knight. Last week's episode. That episode 3, which everybody thought was crazy, is only getting a 6 out of 10 for me, man. Now, Rocksteady, I'll let you go first. I'll let you talk about this, and then I will say my piece.
So between the two of us, as a comic fan, I'm more of a Moon Knight fan than you are, I would say. Mm-hmm. And this episode, after I watched it, I was around a 6 as well, okay? I think we talked about this. And I was like, man, it was just like all over the place again, more questions. And I was ready to move into a smoother ride as opposed to a jumpier ride. But then I watched some of like the spoiler shows, and then I kind of was reading about the first two issues and some of the callbacks, and I got a lot more appreciation for it the second time I watched it, having remembered. So I think the week in between episodes right now is getting to me a little bit. But after watching that and watching it a second time, I'm around a 7. I liked Midnight Man. I thought he was pretty good.
Anton?
Yeah. But yeah, I'm at a 7, but I think it's one of those things where we're gonna have to see it as a whole, right? And then judge it. Like WandaVision, like after the first one, I was just like, what is this? Is this what Disney Plus is? And like no answers. And then you finish it and you're like, when's the next series coming out? Like,
Yeah.
once you watch it as a whole, I think it's gonna all come together. They haven't disappointed me yet.
Carr agrees with me. He's like, I agree with the 610. Swag is saying that it is the weakest episode by far, which I 100%. I'm not gonna disagree. I just think it's weak, and I've had I've had my back and forth, and I know Vancouver Comic Junkies in here, Chris is in here, but I know in our conversations with Jake and Ryan thinks I'm drinking heavily at my house. He's asked me to put down the bottle, and I'm like, man, I don't drink that much, trust me. But everybody's making a huge deal about the fight scenes. So after I gave my initial rating, I was like, okay, let me go back to the fight scenes. The fight scenes weren't that great.
These are the people who skipped Shang-Chi, I guess.
Yeah, this was not. These are the same people that said Venom 2 was like the most amazing movie ever. I thought the fight scenes weren't that great. Somebody had told me that in the 158 minutes of the 3 episodes, he's only been in the suit for like 6 minutes or something like that, like 5 minutes, 6 minutes, something like that. Which I was like, whoa. Which some people were like, well, noob, in Iron Man 1, Iron Man's only in the suit for like X. And I'm like, no, I totally get that. Yeah, but it was more than 6 minutes, right? I think everybody wanted to see him in the suit and doing things, right? The first episode, he was in the suit for about 3 seconds. Second episode, he's in the suit for maybe like 2 minutes. Third episode, he was in the suit for like 2 minutes, right? So I don't know. I was expecting more. And again, how oblivious are those gods that they don't know? They can't see through what Haru's doing. Like that was like the worst acting. Like you're supposed to be a god and you can't see that like this guy's doing something. Like I don't know.
Yeah, that scene didn't do anything for me.
The story, I was just like, this is all over the place. And then the one god, the Avatar, like realizes that he's right, and it's like, what? I don't know. There's a few holes in it. There is some people that have said because I think in like Europe or something, they've gotten the next episode or it's been leaked like a few days ago or something like that. So apparently this next episode, episode 4, is supposed to be the best episode. I don't know, but that's literally what they said about this episode. So I'm kind of like in one of those. Again, not the biggest Moon Knight fan. I wouldn't put Moon Knight in my top 25 for characters. That's just me. I don't know anything about Moon Knight. Except
so he does have a third persona, Moon Knight, and he's like a New York taxi driver. And I watched one of these breakdowns, and in 3 scenes, he has this heavy accent, like this New York accent. And they're wondering if like those gaps that we don't know yet might be a third character. So that's what I've heard some of the rumors are out there. But again, you're just guessing, right?
The difference is you don't have to wait an entire week to see the other. Seems with...
This is just 4 away from an Iron Man appearance, then it would be a 10 out of 10.
The newbie scale was right all along. The last episode seemed rushed with port. Thank you, North 49. Somebody agrees. Legion's in here. What's going on, Legion? Bro, episode 3 was horrible. Yes, right? I really hope episode 4 takes it up a notch and gives us some answers. Yeah. Does anybody feel like they're watching Lost when they're watching this? Like, okay, and I get it. I've mentioned that and I've referenced that, and people are like, "What do you mean?" And I'm like, when Lost started, you would watch the show and be like, "Yes, I got those 3 things answered. Now I'm complete." oh shit, now I have 37 more things that I need answered. It just seems like one of those, like this concept. I didn't have that in the other shows, right? Because you kind of knew where the story was going. This one's just, it seems like it's all over the place. It's rushed. We're in episode 4. Like, I don't know.
It's either of two things. It's either really rushed or really like delayed. I'm not sure which one it is.
Why can't you turn back the sky and sacrifice himself when they were holding a laptop and could literally Google the sky from the era in question? A lot of things don't make sense, man. A lot of things don't make sense. Mark was standing by the henchman and the 1 second lair on a roof as Moon Knight just to jump off immediately. The director needs to be fired. If Moon Knight was a high school basketball player, the crowds would be yelling overrated.
Overrated.
Look, I don't want to bash Moon Knight too much because he does have a cult following. I know there's a lot of people who like Moon Knight, and I get that. I'm happy that you finally get your character on the big screen and everybody is talking about it. But for me, like that, I don't know. I mean, it's 4 episodes in. Like, I just don't think I like it. I'm not going to like it, right? Like, I'm 4 episodes in. Can I like the next 2 episodes? Sure. Absolutely. But my overall is probably going to be a half-ass for me. Like, I'm not going to really like this down the road.
So it's different, and I think they're trying to introduce different fans, a different genre of fans to the Marvel Universe with this as well. So I don't think every Marvel show moving forward is going to be for everybody. And I think they've captured that superhero audience, and they're always going to have that superhero audience. And I think they're trying to venture off.
Yeah.
Dan Delatorre had some cool stuff, some cool predictions. Go check him out. Yeah.
I honestly think, and and speaking of Dan, I know he's saying, like, oh, it goes differently to readers and the 100%. To me, I don't like this. I don't like the show. I don't care for Moon Knight, to be honest with you. I'm not hating on Moon Knight. There's a lot of characters I could care less about. Jean Grey, don't care. Beast, don't care. Maybe some character, like there's a lot of them that just don't resonate with me. I don't like. I could care less for. There's other characters. We all go to the characters we like. Moon Knight's just one of those characters I've never really cared about.
I also think, like, sorry to make a Star Wars reference. I hope you understand. But it's
maybe I'll get
Moon Knight always had that Boba Fett effect, even though he wasn't as popular and everything. But his glory was almost in his mystery.
Yeah,
if that makes sense. The lore, right? So exploring deep into him, it'll be interesting. Or into them.
Sorry, what I meant was in response to people saying you don't see Iron Man in his suit much either. The difference is with Iron Man, you get a full movie. TV just makes the suit scenes feel spark. Yeah,
that's true.
It is.
I think watching it as a whole, we're going to get a different interpretation of it.
Yeah. Now, I appreciate the character. I appreciate what it's setting up, but I think at this point, 4 episodes in, I'm probably more so trying to connect the pieces of what they're trying to set up in the future, right? I think that this is going to have one of those effects on me where what I take away from this is probably going to be what the big reveal is at the end of this series, which is probably a character reveal or who a villain is or what universe this guy ends up in if possibly, he goes to a different universe. Like, I think that that's what I'm going to take away from it because, again, I've already given it 4 episodes. I'm not a fan, right? Am I going to watch it? Yeah, I want to watch it. I like, watching the Marvel stuff. I want to keep up with it, but I just don't care. Now, Layla, on the other hand,
I think our expectations are so high with the Marvel stuff.
I think
this isn't bad. Don't get me wrong. This isn't bad. This is still good. Like, we're just comparing.
6 out of 10. I took math in high school. That's a pass. If you get 6 out of 10, that's a pass. So
so we're expecting the world after seeing some of these insane movies and crazy like TV shows now. Like, we're coming off the heels of stuff like Loki and Winter Soldier, and Falcon. Like, that was good stuff.
How is Moon Knight bulletproof and 3 seconds later stabbed with 7 spears? right? Vancouver Chris is saying not enough spec breadcrumbs for no, not at all, man. Not at all. I don't think I relate to the character. It was slow from the start for me, so I don't know. Yep, that was something that was discussed too, Dan. Yeah, Ramatai, yeah. But that was discussed back in Loki show. So yeah, with the Egyptian thing, yeah. With the Sphinx and stuff like that.
Could be the connection. Like they're gonna have to connect this to the Marvel universe somehow.
Yeah.
At some point.
Yeah, and you know what? And Rocksteady, it's like you said, and like everybody's saying, right? Like they're building different worlds and different things. You're not gonna like everything, and that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. I just guess what? This is the one this one and Captain Marvel, just not two things.
You weren't a big fan of him before. It didn't ruin Moon Knight for you.
Exactly. Newsflash, I'm probably not going to be a fan of Miss Marvel. From what the trailer is, I probably won't like it. Am I going to give it a chance? 100%. Am I going to watch it? 100%. Do I have to like it? No. But I do want to say that the people that are bashing that show, I've kind of taken a mental note. So when that show comes out and you're on like a fanboy being like, this is the greatest show ever, like you do with every other show that comes out, I'm going to probably call you out. That's what I'm going to do.
Screenshots.
Right? Because that's what we're doing with every show. There was people that were hating Hawkeye just before it. Episode 2. I love Hawkeye. Hawkeye's my favorite character. I've been to your house. You don't have anything Hawkeye. What are you talking about?
And where are those Hawkeye people now? Like,
exactly.
I'm Kate Bishop books now.
Exactly. And that's the issue I have is everybody's like, oh no, this is the best show. But that happens every show, right? And it's annoying. It's like, no, it's not. Like I have literally so many people being like, dude, how do you hate the show? This is the greatest show Marvel's done. Get that. First of all, those people need jobs with benefits so they can get their eyes checked or something. Please. There's no way this is one of the best shows. There's no way.
You like Captain America, right?
No.
Number one?
No. But you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I get everybody, likes everything. I will admit though, Oscar Isaac, he's dope. He's a good actor. I'm not taking anything away from him. Yeah. I just, I don't like this show. So I don't know. 6 out of 10, better rating than the last 2 episodes. So that's good. So North 49 is saying Kingpin was the best part of Hawkeye. So we'll see. Scott 5 is saying, looking forward to the Moon Knight Morbius team up season 2. Oscar Isaac, Jared Leto, Cap, and Iron Man. No, actually, did you guys hear? There is no season 2. We would have actually known that if we did the news segment on Sunday's show. There's actually no season 2 for Hawkeye or Moon Knight. I don't know if anybody knew that there's no season 2. So that's again another thing that it could be a curveball. Like, why would they say that while the show's happening? I don't know. The other thing too that I want to address is, because I know Chris is here. What have you liked from Disney Plus shows, newbie? I've liked Loki. I think Loki's number 1. I think 2 would be WandaVision. 3 would be Winter Soldier. 4 would be Hawkeye, and 5 would be Moon Knight for me. Did I miss one?
No, I think you nailed it.
Yeah, I think I got them all. Yeah, that's the order right now. Now, Chris, I know you've said this a few times because you just said it with the breadcrumbs. I think people think that I'm expecting like 700 characters to show up in the show, like, oh, Galactus and Gambit and Wolf. No. I don't need that. I really don't. I just, I don't know.
But you like it.
Yeah, of course I would love it, but like I don't need to be rushed. Like I don't need all those characters.
Yeah.
I just don't. I think this is rushed. I think it's, that's just my opinion. So it is what it is. Oscar announced a few weeks ago that this is a one-off for him. Yeah, and he's only signed to the one contract too, right? We talked about that in the news segment, I think like a few weeks ago too, where those details came out. So,
but didn't he say something about Midnight Suns at the same time?
Yeah. Now that could be its own spinoff though, right?
Yeah.
So it not necessarily be like Moon Knight-ish. Are we worried about Nova series? Because isn't the director doing that series?
Let this finish first.
Let's see where it goes. I mean, again, episode 5 or 6 could be like, oh my god, I could rate it a 9 out of 10. I don't know. We'll see. They canceled Moon Knight season 2 because of newbies ratings. I don't think so.
Rotten Tomatoes.
700 characters can't save the show. The director can't handle it. Actually, has anybody seen that photo that's going around where, like, in episode 1 he's running, or I think it's episode 3 where he's running to catch those guys, and you can literally see cameramen like in the scene. Like, I didn't see it. Like, you have to actually go back and you can actually see when he's running. There's actually cameramen still in the screen, which I know that happens a lot in movies and shows. So, but I just thought it was funny. Let's see Dan's prediction here. I'm predicting that episode 6 of Moon Knight will tie into Doctor Strange movie, which debuts 2 days later on May 6th. Yep, it's possible.
Things move in a pretty good succession. Like, they have their timing down now, and it's nice for the hype.
Yeah. Let's hope 4 to 6 redeem a lot of the things we've had issues with so far, or at least just wrap up a good, cohesive story. Yeah, absolutely.
I think it will.
If you all haven't figured it out by now, we won't get any big characters on Disney Plus. We have to wait for Doctor Strange or Thor. Yeah, 100%. The directors have a lot less freedom in these Disney Plus shows. Look more to who is in the showrunners and writers to gauge future projects. Yep. I agree. I'm not expecting any big character stuff. None. I think this is going to tie into, Doctor Strange, or he's going to be in a different universe or something like that. Like, I really do. Or you're going to get this, and this is a long shot, but I think you're going to get like Steven, the end credit in episode 6. You're going to get Steven eating something, being at the water fountain. Now, hear me out, because if I'm right, I want people like understand I am a time traveler. Okay. He's gonna be at the fountain. You guys know that like old guy that's like painted, and he always goes to talk to him.
His buddy.
Yeah, he's gonna go there as Steven, and he's gonna be eating, and he's gonna be talking to him, and then out of nowhere, you're gonna hear Blade's voice be like, "Steven, let's go," or "Get up," or something like I feel like
the
that,
same as.
Yeah, I feel like that's the direction that is going. So if I'm right, I expect everybody to send me $2 shipping and handling for the next. I'm just kidding. I think that's what's going to
happen. That mannequin guy, he's in the comics. He's actually a homeless guy that Moon Knight, that Mark Spector is friends with.
Crowley, right?
And so they kind of changed it a little bit, I think, to be more socially acceptable. But yeah, that character's in there. But we still haven't seen Amit, right? Like the crocodile god.
Oh, I thought you said Gambit, and I was like,
no, what? Amit, something. Yeah. I don't know how to say it, but yeah, the one from that Conan book. And he's the avatar for that god. So we've only seen some gods, but we've seen their avatars. So I'm hoping we get to see some more god action there.
Yeah. Tim, the next show is actually Miss Marvel in June. So this show ends May 4th, May 6th. Actually, I got tickets on May 5th for the movie. Is Doctor Strange. Then you get June, you get Miss Marvel. So you have a month of nothing. And then you get Thor a month later, and then
Halloween. Nothing. Do we get Halloween?
6. Dang. Sorry, Ultra. Sorry. All right. Enough of the Moon Knight. Let's talk about what's really taking over right now, comics, and that is Whatnot. Rocksteady, I want to thank you for joining the show, but you got some Whatnot stuff, and let the people know where they can find you, what you do, sir.
So on Whatnot, I am Rocksteady Collects, because they only allow a certain amount of characters, even though I emailed them and asked them to extend it.
Damn it.
They cannot just yet, but I'll let it slide. So tomorrow I am dropping New Agents of Atlas books, or sorry, not tomorrow, on Thursday, 10:35 Eastern, 8:35 Mountain Time, which is my time because I'm in Edmonton. So New Agents of Atlas stuff, Moon Girl, Devil Dinosaur, Jane Foster Thor stuff. I'm rolling pretty heavy. It's only my second sale, so I hope to see everybody there.
Nice.
And if you're looking to see what's for sale, check me out on Instagram, and you can see all the books I'm going to be throwing up.
Yeah. And don't forget, guys, he's also on Instagram as well with the same handle right below.
Rocksteady Collectibles.
Right there. So make sure you guys go check it out. He's got a lot of information. Obviously a cool dude. This is his 3rd time on here, so it's going to be hanging around with us for a bit longer, hopefully. But for me, guys, we will be back on Sunday, 9:35 p.m. Eastern time. We're going to rock out. Don't forget, don't ruin Moon Knight. Okay? Do not ruin Moon Knight. Enjoy New Comic Book Day tomorrow. If you're anywhere that is not snowing or -2, good for you. Here it's snowing and -2. So
yeah, -6. Beat that.
Yeah, -6. So, but that's the show. I hope you guys had fun. Thank you guys for hanging out with us. We had about like 60 people, at the height, and like 50 throughout the show. So I do appreciate everybody for hanging around. As always, guys, feel free to, hit me up, talk shop. Always love it. Make sure to leave comments, hit that sub, hit that thumbs up, whatever you want to do. I appreciate it. Sunday, 9:35 p.m. Eastern time. I'm messaging you at 6 a.m. with Moon Knight. Oh, dude. Oh, yeah. And don't forget, guys, this could be cheaper than toilet paper tomorrow. Hulk 6, the upgraded Titan. It's not going to last. If you've watched the comic Kingpins, they had that spoiler. They kind of, spoiled it. Big shout outs to them. But yeah, if you went big on Hulk 6, I'm sorry to hear that. But enjoy New Comic Book Day. Collect whatever you want. And that's it, guys. That's the show. Thanks for hanging out. I'll see you guys Sunday. And hopefully by then, the Miami Heat have swept Atlanta. All right. Later.